Hello there, I'm Russell Smart, Deputy Head of Primary, and I'm going to guide you through this recording of the Stay and Learn which we held in September for our Year 6 parents. Later on I'll hand over to Mrs Yates, who's the Assistant Head for Year 5 and 6, and she'll talk more about the lesson in detail of what parents saw when they were able to attend on the day. As a result of watching this recording, I hope that you have a good understanding of our teaching and learning procedures and policies here at DBSJP and how the UK curriculum supports and guides the teachers in what they deliver and how they deliver it. Mrs Yates will explore the expectations of Year 6 curriculum as well as talking about science, how the children learn science and how you can support science learning at home. First of all, for those of you that are new to DBSJP or new to the British curriculum, we offer here a broad and balanced curriculum which is very much skills rich. We develop the skills right from Year 1 through to Year 6 and beyond of our children, and that's supplemented with knowledge from the UK curriculum as well. We've got our core subjects of English, Maths and Science, just like any UK curriculum school around the world, but with our local context, we also have Arabic and Islamic for those learners of those subjects. We've got some great opportunities here at DBSJP where our foundation subjects supplement our core subjects. The children receive specialist teaching for music, for art, PE, French, and in Year 6 they're introduced to Spanish as well. Those of you familiar with the IB curriculum will know that's very much inquiry and project led. Whilst we're not entirely down that route, we do take some of the best practices of IB and that inquiry approach, and that's complementing the UK curriculum, which for some can be quite knowledge based. Overall, we look to develop independence, resilience and responsibility in our children, and that goes from Year 1 right through to Year 6. So how do we plan the curriculum? As I've mentioned, we're rooted in the national curriculum. That gives us some very broad and open objectives of what the children need to know by the time they leave Key Stage 1, which is Year 2, or when they leave Key Stage 2, which is the end of Year 6. These statements are very broad, and it's down to individual schools and year groups to interpret them to deliver the curriculum to children in the UK curriculum. That means that I could go between any two schools and see different things happening, but all the children are working towards the same goals by the end of Year 6. Here at DBSJP, we have a long-term plan. This maps the overarching topics that we want to cover across the academic year, and we do this to avoid repetition, and we check for skills progression from year to year. Our curriculum maps are planned by the teachers to look week on week what they intend to cover. But from that point forward, as soon as the teacher opens their classroom door and delivers that first lesson of the week, things might change. Some children might find concepts particularly tricky, or they might have misconceptions or previous experience and they need extension. So, through ongoing assessments, reflection and adaptation, the curriculum changes from class to class, from year to year, and that's really important that the teacher caters for the needs of the children in front of them. For that reason, whilst the curriculum maps and long-term plans are our intentions of what we aim to cover, they need to be adaptable and they need to change in order to suit the needs of the cohort or of the class that is in front of us. We also have a look at a visible learning approach here at DBSJP. We ensure that the learning intentions of every lesson and every unit of work are really clear to our children. They need to know what their journey is. They need to know why they're on that learning journey. What's the result, or how does this link to other learning? Individual lessons or units of work will have success criteria to guide the children in order to help them make progress. They'll also monitor their own work against that as well. This looks very different from Year 1 through to Year 6, but it's about the children taking responsibility for their learning. How are they doing at the moment? Why are they doing it? What are they going to do next? And whilst the teacher and learning assistant are there to guide them, it's about the children having that responsibility. The teacher will push further with deeper thinking questions, asking why and how, and questions that are similar to that, rather than closed procedural questions. We'll also encourage frequent collaboration and reflection for the children to tackle the different tasks. I'm now going to hand over to Mrs Yates, who's going to talk in more detail about why Year 6 is special.
Hello everybody. So why is Year 6 special? So in Year 6 we prepare our students for transition into secondary school, and the science lesson part of the Stay and Learn the science lesson was actually planned in conjunction with the secondary science teachers. We have really, really high expectations in Year 6. We expect our students to be independent, organised, and apply their knowledge and skills across the curriculum. We want our learning to be challenging in Year 6, and we want them to make those cross-curricular links. We also ensure that in Year 6 they have access to technology. They bring their own devices and they use that to support their learning in lots of their lessons. So today's focus spotlight was on science. So what is special about science in Year 6? In Year 6, science expands the students' knowledge and encourages their curiosity about the world. We build critical thinking and problem-solving skills within our science lessons. We encourage hands-on investigations that allow the children to make discoveries for themselves and deepen their understanding. We also develop the working scientifically skills, and you can see these skills on the right-hand side on the wheel. This is to prepare them for Year 7 as well. So, what would you see in the lesson that was shared last week? So the learning objective of the lesson was to recognise and plan a fair test. So the students were planning their own investigation, focusing on microorganisms, particularly bacteria. They were working together to plan the investigation, and it was very, very practical and hands-on. If you ask them, I'm sure they'll have lots to say about it because they really, really enjoyed the lesson. There was lots of supports and scaffolds, visuals and instructions to help them carry out their investigation. But we always ensure that they're there to support the students, but we want them to lead their own learning as well. So how would you get involved if you were in that lesson? So sitting with the group of students, supporting them, but asking them open-ended questions such as, what do you predict is going to happen? Why? How are you making the investigation fair? What are they learning? Why are they learning this? Encouraging them to use scientific language. Encouraging them to explain their reasoning and ideas. And again, like I've previously said, letting them lead their own learning within the lesson. So how can you help at home to support with science? Encourage curiosity at home. Get them thinking, getting them asking questions about things. Why do you think that? Try simple science activities at home that involve cooking, nature, household investigations that you can do at home. Praise effort, teamwork, and problem solving, because these are the skills that are all involved in science. Thank you very much for listening, and if you need anything else, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Mr. Smart. Thank you.